Okay, today we're going to do 7.3, day 1, or day A. In your worksheet packet, it's AA and A. And you're going to be doing pages 9, 11, and 12, excuse me, 9, 11, and 12 in our packet for homework today. And we're going to be, so far we've learned how to graph or find a solution to a system by what? What did we learn the first day? We learned by, I kind of gave it away. Graphing. Thank you. Yep. And then the second day we learned how to find where these two lines intersect. We found the solution for the system by, what was it that we just corrected? Close. Substitution. Excellent. Now today we're going to learn a third way, and it is by combinations, by an elimination of one, either the x or the y. All right, so let's practice together. I want you to fill these in, please. These are the steps and the things that we ask ourselves when we're solving them using combination or elimination. First, you want to check the equations. Check that they are arranged with like variables in their columns. It's kind of like when you add and subtract decimals, you have to line up the decimal. Well, when you do these, you have to line up the x's, you have to line up the y's, and you have to have the number on the right side of the equal sign and lined up. If they're not, you have to rearrange them. Now that part, we won't be doing any rearranging until 7.3b, and that will be on Monday. So today's are pretty easy because there's no rearranging. I'm super nice. I put them all in order for you today. The columns are all lined up. Check to see that the signs for one of the variables are opposites. All right? And you'll know what that means in a minute. I'll show you. If they're not, because if they're not, then you have to multiply one or both of the equations by a constant in order to get an opposite coefficient, meaning you might have to take it times a -1. Maybe you have to take everything times a -5. That kind of a thing. Number 6. Substitute the value of the variable that you just solved into either of the original equations. Then after you subtract or combine, solve the equation for the other variable. So that's kind of like what we did yesterday. And then you write your ordered pair and you check it by putting that ordered pair into the original equations to check that they both work. Let's practice. Here's your first one. X minus y equals 5. X plus y equals 9. So draw a line. Bring down my equal sign. Now let's combine them. So the equal sign in a way is kind of like my decimal, right? Now 9 and 5, what do I get when I combine my 9 and 5?
14.
I get 14. See how that's in a nice column? I got my numbers on the right side of the equal sign in our standard form here. I got my y's lined up right here. What do I get? What kind of a y is this? A minus?
-1.
Right, an assumed 1. So what is a minus 1y and a positive 1y? 0, right? They cancel each other out. That's what we're talking about. One of those have to cancel each other out. It either has to be the y's that cancel each other out, or maybe it'll be the x's that cancel each other out. But they both won't cancel out. Only one or the other can cancel out. Do these cancel out?
No.
What do I get here?
Positive.
Because I have a 1x and a 1x, which is that turns into a 2x. Everybody with me on how that, when you bring them down? I mean, I could have brought this down and went 2x plus 0, because these canceled out make 0y, right? But we don't do that. We don't write 0y. So we just don't put that there. So that's how I have 2x equals 14. So what does x equal? 7, because you had to divide by 2. There we have our first half. First or second number? Is my x my first or my second number? My first number. Now that we have our x, you take this number and you put it into either one of these original ones that you want. Because it doesn't matter, you'll get the same answer in either one. So say I take the 7 and I put it in for the what? The x or the y? The x, because we just said 7 is our x. So 7 minus y equals 5. So what do I do to solve that? I'm going to write it down here. 7 minus y equals 5. What do I have to do to solve that? Subtract 7. What do I have left here?
Negative 2.
Negative what?
2.
On this side? A negative 1y left here equals negative 2. Can I leave it with a negative variable?
No, divide by negative.
Yep, divide everything by that negative 1. So now y equals what? Positive 2. And now you show your check. And on the bottom of your worksheet, it has places for you to show your checks. 7 and 2. I'm going to clear this side of room. So our ordered pair that we figured out is 7 and 2. So you go in here and, for my x, put a 7 in for this one, put the 2 in for the y. So 7 minus 2 is that 5?
Yes.
5 equals 5. That one worked, right? 7 plus 2, does that equal 9?
Yes.
9 equals 9. That one works. So we showed our check. On to the next problem, because it worked in both. What if it didn't work in one of them? Then you better figure out which one where we went wrong, and we know that one of our points in our ordered pair is not right, one of our coordinates. All right? Next one. Draw my line, bring down my decimal, I mean my equal sign, right? Okay. Do any of these cancel each other out?
Yes.
Which ones cancel out? Right. The x is a negative 2x and a positive 2x. Those cancel each other out right away. Isn't this nice of me today? They're easy. Why are they easy today?
Because we just like them.
No, because they're already what for you? Nice, neat columns. All the y's are in a column, all the x's, and then the numbers. So none of that today. You don't have to do any rearranging. Get you used to them. They're all like this today. So what do I have here in this column? 1. Oh, everybody agrees? 7y? Because this one assumed 1. So 1y and 6y, we get 7y. Do you want to bring down this plus 0x?
No.
No. Equals 0. Now what do I do? Okay. So y equals, what is 0 divided by 7? 0. So my ordered pair, is that my first or my second number we just solved for? Okay, so my y is 0, the second one. Now what do I do?
Check.
Not quite yet. I can't check till I get my x.
Find x.
So I'm going to find my x by what? Which one do you want to use, the top or the bottom?
Top.
Want to use the top one?
Yeah.
Okay, so 0 minus 2x equals 0. Well, minus 0 to both sides, it'd still be 0, right? Now what do? Divide everything by negative 2. What is x? So we're figuring that x is 0 also. Let's check it and see if we're right. We have to check it in both. Zero minus 0, oops, 2 times 0. Does that equal 0?
Yeah.
In that case, yep, 0 equals 0. That's starred. 6 times 0 plus 2 times 0, does that equal 0?
Yeah.
That works also. Now, don't assume that if one of them, once you solve for 0, that the other one's going to automatically be 0. It happened in this problem, but it's not going to happen all the time. You could get 0, maybe negative 8, or 0 and 4. Just because you get 0 doesn't mean the other one's going to be 0. So these two, if I put these two on the graph, these two lines, where would they cross? Oh, nice. The origin. I heard it. Who said it? 0, 0. These two lines would intersect right on the origin. Okay, one more. I think this is our last one. And then you're on your own. So, draw your line. I'll let you work it out for a couple seconds here. Okay, as I walked around, the majority of them I was seeing is, what did you guys have?
Negative 6.
14 and 6.
14 and 6?
Yeah.
Negative 6? I'm getting a bunch of different ones. Well, first of all, on this column, what is 8 and 20?
28.
28. Which one of these cancels out?
Y.
The y's cancel each other out. So how many x's do I have?
2x.
I have 2x. So divide by 2, x equals 14. So we have 14 for the first number. Now it doesn't matter. You go up here. 14 plus y equals 20. Minus the 14. What does y equal? 6. You should have 14 and 6 for your answers, and then you check them. Oops. Is 14 minus 6, does that equal 8?
Yeah. Yep.
Start. 14 plus 6, does that equal 20?
Yeah.
Yes, 20 equals 20, so start. So we know that 14 and 6 are the right answers. All right, you have homework pages in your homework packet. 9, 11, and 12.